My beloved soul, today, I want you to sense how every difficulty you faced has built your strength. Yet I know you are at your limit. I have watched you in your long marathon of belief, running with a steadfastness that moves the heavens. You have run under the sun of happiness and in the rain of hardship. You have run when you felt strong. And more admirably, you kept advancing even when exhaustion screamed for you to quit. Now you look ahead and see only the road, which seems to stretch endlessly. The finish marker you deeply desire seems obscured by mist, and your tired heart starts to ask, is it worth continuing? Do I have the power for one more stride? The untruth of forever has tried to creep into your mind. You will stay in this struggle always, waiting always, almost there always. Today I have come to run alongside you in these final yards. I am here to be your breath, your power, and most importantly, your spokesperson at the finish line. What I will share next can redefine your course because your perception is mistaken. You are not in the middle of the race. You are taking the final step. You are one movement away from the pivotal change I have arranged for you. That spot on the road where the steep uphill becomes a gentle slope, where the headwind turns into a strong tailwind, where the intense effort gives way to the smooth progress of my grace. Everything you prayed for, everything you endured, everything I pledged to you is just beyond this single movement. Do not give up now. You are too close. Before we continue, state this word of conviction in the comments. My belief empowers me every moment. This is your action of refusing to collapse from weariness, of rising by conviction, and preparing to cross the final demarcation. Now take a deep breath. Your toughest stretch is ending. Your moment of triumph is about to start. My daughter, pay attention now, as it is vital you grasp the strength held within this exact, almost there point. Why did I have you run to this degree of fatigue? Why did the end marker seem to recede as you advanced? I am like a skilled archer, and you are my chosen arrow. For an arrow to hit the target with maximum force and exactness, it must be pulled back on the bow as far as possible. The farther back it is drawn, the greater the strain, the greater the pressure, but also, the greater the potential energy being stored for its release. Your long season of waiting, of struggling, of almost there, was not me holding you back. It was me drawing you backward. Every day you chose to rely on me, even without sight, was me tensioning the bowstring a little tighter. Every persistent prayer, every action of conviction in the dark, was me accumulating kinetic force for your breakthrough. You felt the pull, the pressure, the discomfort of being stretched to your limit. You looked back and saw how far you were from your starting point, and you felt like you were falling behind. But from my perspective, you were not regressing. You were being aimed. I was targeting the mark of your destiny, a goal far larger and more glorious than you could ever imagine. If I had launched you sooner, you would have fallen short along the way. You lacked the stored energy, the tempered character, the proven belief necessary to cover the required distance. The point of maximum tension, this very moment when you feel you might break, is the point of maximum power. It is the juncture where all the energy of your preparation is concentrated, ready to be unleashed in one unstoppable forward surge. There is an essential truth you must grasp before proceeding. Your feeling of being stretched to your limit is not the prelude to your downfall. It is the announcement of your launch. Now, before we advance, post this in the comments. I place my trust in the Lord. By doing so, you reinforce your belief and share encouragement with others needing to sense my presence to call out. It is your declaration that you trust the archer. If this message resonated, please support this effort by clicking thanks and help circulate words of guidance, encouragement, and inspiration to many lives. Do not fear the tension. It is the assurance of your propulsion. My precious soul. And what will this turn look like? How will your launch occur? It won't be a slow, gradual process. It will be a suddenly. The word defining your next phase is acceleration. What you tried to establish over years, I will erect in days. The entrances you strained at for months will open with a simple touch. The personal ties that took an age to mend will find sudden resolution. The favor you sought will pursue you. It will be as if life, which seemed to be in slow motion, suddenly shifts to high speed. Your part will no longer be to push, but to hold steady and enjoy the ride. The shift will also appear as a domino effect of blessings. You prayed for one element, one gateway, but I, in my wisdom, was lining up an entire row of dominoes behind that first entrance. And when I open it, it won't just reveal your first blessing, but activate a chain reaction. The door of provision will open, leading to peace in your home. And that peace will grant you clarity for your purpose. And by walking in your purpose, you will find your relationships divinely aligned. One blessing will give rise to another, and another, and another. What you planted in one area, you will reap in all. What I will reveal next can redefine your life. The turnaround will be marked by a clarity you haven't had in ages. The fog of confusion will clear, and you will know, with unshakable certainty, what to do, what to say, where to go. I won't just provide the answer. I will give you the detailed plan. I won't just give you the resources. I will give you the wisdom to increase them. You will no longer operate based on trial and error, but with the precision of one hearing direct orders from the commander. I, your God, am sending you a distinct sign. The confirmation you await is in this scripture. Isaiah 60:22, which states, "The least of these will become 1,000, the smallest a mighty nation. I am the Lord. In its proper time I will do this swiftly." Post in the comments, "I receive this message and am blessed," and send warmth and protection to someone you care for, affirming that the time for God's acceleration has arrived for them. If this message resonated, show your support with a thanks and help circulate this message of light. Before we proceed, let me guide you toward something I prepared to further strengthen your belief. If you feel a need for inner healing, spiritual reconnection, purpose, and success aligned with my heart, a 31-day experience awaits you. Each day was created for me to communicate more deeply with you. If you wish to follow this route, the link is in the description and the first pinned comment. Now, let's continue. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so now to keep receiving messages of light. Your time has come, and I will act promptly. My blessed soul. The final obstruction between you and your shift is not an external mountain. It is an internal voice. It is the voice of faith fatigue. It is the voice that, based on your past disappointments, whispers, "Why would this time be different? You got your hopes up before and nothing happened. It's better not to set expectations so you won't get hurt again." This voice is the adversary's last and most subtle trap. He knows he can no longer block you with external obstacles, because I have already cleared the route. So he tries to paralyze you internally with the poison of cynicism and despair. Today, we silence that voice, and the tool for this is acceptance. You must accept the past for not turning out as you anticipated. You hold a resentment against your own history, a bitterness against the near misses that never materialized. This bitterness is what gives the voice of doubt its power. By accepting your past, you release it from the authority to predict your future. You declare, "I honor you for the lessons, but I no longer authorize you to determine my expectations. My future belongs to God, not to you." You need to accept the people who let you down on your path. The broken promise, the help that wasn't given. Release them. They were not your source. I am. By accepting them, you pull your focus from human sources and place it back on the divine source. And critically, you must accept yourself. You blame yourself for being vulnerable. You are ashamed of your pain. You criticize yourself for not moving past it sooner. My child, you are judging yourself with a cruelty I would never exercise toward you. You are human, and human hearts were made to feel. Your capacity to be injured is the same capacity that allows you to love deeply. Do not curse your sensitivity. It is a gift. Embrace the woman you were in her pain. Have compassion for her. Honor her progress. And accept yourself for not being a superhuman. I never asked you to be one. I only asked you to be mine. And you are. Post in the comments a list of people, including yourself, whom you wish to accept. Picture each one, send them warmth, and say, "I accept you and set you free. May peace be with you." Feel the lightness and liberty acceptance brings. Repeat this practice daily to build inner calm and release anxiety. Every act of acceptance is you allowing me to wipe away another layer of tears, clearing your vision so you can start to see the new landscape of happiness I am preparing for you. My precious soul, so what is this one step that separates you from your pivot? It is not a step requiring more effort. You have exerted enough. It is not a step demanding more planning. Your plans brought you this far, but they cannot carry you to the next dimension. The final movement is a step of surrender. It is the step Abraham took when he raised the knife over Isaac, the step that symbolized his complete yielding and reliance on me, even when faced with what looked like the death of his pledge. And it was at that precise moment of surrender that my provision appeared. It is the step Peter took when he stepped out of the boat amid the storm. It wasn't a step of strength, but of confidence in my directive that summoned him. Your final move is to let go of the oars. You have been rowing with all your strength against the current, and now I tell you, stop, release the oars, and raise the sails of your belief. Your part is no longer to create the momentum, but to yield to the momentum I have already set in motion. And what does this step look like practically? It is the step of adoration. Instead of petitioning me about your problem more, begin to praise me for the solution that is already en route. Adoration is your statement of faith that you trust my word more than your circumstances. It is the sound that silences the voice of doubt and aligns your spirit with the frequency of your victory. It is the step of gratitude. Start giving thanks for the door opened, for the healing manifesting, for the provision received, as if it were already an established fact. Gratitude is your preemptive welcome. It is you preparing your home for the guest you know is arriving. It is the step of rest. Stop agonizing. Stop running the problem through your mind. Hand it over to me, definitively, and enter my rest, the spiritual Sabbath of the soul that knows its God is faithful and in control. There is a deep truth I want you to grasp. This final step is not about doing, but about being. It is about ceasing your own striving and entering my work already accomplished. It is the easiest step and, at the same time, the most difficult of all, but it is the only one that will carry you to the other side. My daughter, when you take this step of surrender and the turnaround occurs, your life will change, and you need to be ready for the new landscape. Life after the pivot is not a life without difficulties, but it is a life with new momentum. It is like an aircraft that, after a long and noisy run on the runway, your season of struggle finally takes flight. The effort required to maintain altitude is infinitely less than the effort required to get off the ground. You will live above the turbulence that previously kept you grounded. You will have a new outlook. You will view problems that seemed enormous from a vantage point of triumph, no longer from the level of your struggle. And you will have a new speed. You will cover in a short time distances that once took an age. This new life will demand a new mode of operation from you. You can no longer rely on your own power, but must learn to depend on the air currents of my spirit. Your new discipline will be sensitivity and obedience. You will have to learn to discern where my wind is blowing and adjust your sails accordingly. And your new identity will be that of a favored one. You will no longer see yourself as a fighter, but as someone favored. Someone carried by grace, who finds open entrances, who experiences divine coincidences. This is not arrogance. This is your new reality, and embracing it is what will keep you aloft. What I want you to start doing is preparing for takeoff. Begin thinking like someone in flight. Lighten the unnecessary burdens in your life. Simplify. Detach. You cannot carry excess baggage to the heights, and start dreaming about the new destinations. Where will I guide you? What new territories will you see? Your life is about to become an adventure. Share this video with 2 dear people who need this message of hope and faith. Let's build a chain of mutual support and affection. Post a comment with a prayer of faith and hope. A simple, Lord, I release the oars and raise the sails. Take me with you to the heights, is your declaration that you are ready for your new life of flight. My precious soul, your narrative of the pivot and arrival is not just for your benefit. Your account of how you stood one step from giving up, but took that final step of conviction and saw my power unleashed, will become one of your most potent ministry tools. Numerous people will come across your path whom I will place there, who are exactly where you are now, exhausted, discouraged, on the verge of abandoning their aspirations. They look at their own marathon and see no finish line. And you, with your story, will be my voice of encouragement to them. You will be the person who sits beside them, offers them water, and says, "I know how you feel. I was right there. And let me tell you, don't stop now. Your shift is closer than you think. I am living proof of it. Your authority to speak of hope will come not from books, but from your own redeemed marks. Your empathy will not be theoretical, but born from your own experience of near despair. What the adversary sought to use for your isolation and discouragement, I am transforming into your greatest tool for connection. Your life will become a beacon for those feeling stranded. They will see in you the assurance that change is possible. And your narrative, told with humility and might, will be the map guiding them out of their own confinement. Do not fear this calling. It will not be another weight. It will be the most joyous expression of your freedom. Because the greatest happiness of a liberated person is using that liberty to free others. Your purpose will no longer center on yourself. And in this losing of self in service, you will find yourself most fully. Your past is no longer your sentence, it is your powerful lesson, and it is a lesson the world desperately needs to hear. Share this video with 2 dear people who need this message of hope and faith. Let's build a chain of mutual support and affection. Post a comment with a prayer of faith and hope. A simple, "Lord, use my freedom to set others free," is your acceptance of this promotion. This transition from former prisoner to a commanding figure in my liberation force. My precious soul, how do you protect and maintain this freedom secured with such effort? The restraints are gone, but the memory of them and the old mental habits can still try to pull you back. Your liberty requires loving alertness. Your main defense is the renewal of your thought life. You must intentionally replace the old falsehoods that kept you bound with my new certainties that keep you free. When the thought, "I am not adequate," surfaces, counter it with the truth, "I am God's right standing in Christ." When anxiety about the future hits, counter it with the truth, "God has peaceful designs for me." Fill your awareness with my word. It is the solvent that dissolves the rusted residue of your former mental constraints. Your second defense is your community. The adversary seeks your isolation because falsehood thrives in separation. Surround yourself with other liberated people, individuals who speak your new language of belief, hope, and victory. Share your struggles with them. Celebrate your wins with them. The strength of a 3-strand rope is hard to break. Your community is your protective barrier, and your third defense is thankfulness. Gratitude is what keeps you centered on your current freedom, not on your past bondage. Begin and end every day listing proof of your liberty. Give thanks for the calm you felt, for the no you were able to state, for the joy that surfaced. A thankful heart has no room for longing for the prison cell. What I want you to understand is that your liberty is not a passive state. It is an active choice, a lifestyle to nurture. But it is not a heavy exertion. It is the joy of caring for the most precious garden there is, the garden of your own spirit, now free to flourish without hindrance. My beloved soul, we have reached the end of our exchange. The work of drying your internal tears has started. The truth has been stated. Acceptance has been given. And the river of my peace has begun to move. You are not the same person who began reading these words. Your internal geography has been permanently altered. The places of flooding are drying up, and the fertile ground of your spirit is now prepared for a new planting. I call you to leave this meeting and live as the person you have become. When you look at yourself in the mirror, no longer search for flaws, look for the gold lines. When you recall your past, no longer relive the pain, celebrate the redemption. And when you encounter another broken spirit, do not retreat in apprehension. Approach with the empathy of one who knows the way to cure. Your life, starting today, is a visible demonstration, a testament that no struggle is too deep for my love to mend, a testament that the greatest hurts can become the greatest assignments, and a testament that the beauty which arises from the ashes is the most enduring and radiant of all. Go now, and let your light beam out, the light that shines not despite your fractures but precisely through them. And know that your heart, now secure in my hands, will never again be beyond saving. It can only be expanded, deepened, and embellished with more of my redeeming gold. If this message connected with you and your circumstances, write in the comments. My tears have been turned into gladness by the Lord. Your words strengthen your belief and also light the way for others who need this guidance. Share your experiences in the comments. And before we finish, I need to direct you to something I specially prepared for you. I have seen your search for inner healing, spiritual reconnection, a new purpose, and prosperity coming from my hands. None of this is happenstance. When your heart cries out, I open paths. Therefore, through this channel, I have set before you a guided 31-day experience, a process where, daily, I can speak more intimately to your spirit. This is more than a guide. It is a path of restoration, alignment, and development created to fortify your belief, renew your hope, and open doors you couldn't have conceived of. If you feel this call, access the link in the description and the first pinned comment on this video. Begin this course of healing, reconnection, purpose, and success today. I will be with you on every page, guiding your movements and illuminating your route. If this message touched your heart, like this video and subscribe to keep receiving my word. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video.